Good morning. My name's Tim Smith, and I'm also from Boston, and pleasure to follow my colleague, Lisa. I work at Walden Asset Management, a division of, we work on socially and responsible investing for Boston Trust. We manage about $8 billion for clients, individuals, and institutions. And we do, as many of the firms in this room do, screen portfolios for our clients. But we also are involved, as Boston Common is, in shareholder engagement with companies and working on public policy issues. And we work on maybe 20 issues, from climate change to board diversity to human rights issues. I want to say that for this little popcorn presentation, let's call it The Power of the Proxy: Voting Matters. And I want to tell you about an issue that, or a strategy that Ceres, the Coalition for Environmentally Responsible Economies, has led for about a decade, and how investors have picked up on that. Each year, Ceres does a report and a commentary on how mutual funds and major institutional managers vote their proxies on climate. It's a wonderful tool, and it's really taken off, its usefulness has taken off in the last couple of years. There's about 100 shareholder resolutions related to climate issues. Ceres catalogs those and then tells you how these groups of managers vote. They publish this, and the chart goes all the way from companies and mutual funds that vote rather robustly on climate issues, all the way to those who have never voted for one resolution on climate or social issues. So this rating allows investors to say to investment firms, maybe those that they own shares in or have a relationship with, to engage them and talk to them about how they vote and why. So in the last years, for example, you've seen investors engage Vanguard and Fidelity, BlackRock, and many other companies, urging them to review their proxy voting and to improve their records. This year, as you've heard in this room, we saw some dramatic changes in proxy voting by major investment firms. You all heard the discussion about the 62% vote at Exxon and the 67% vote at Occidental Petroleum last year on climate issues, a dramatic shift. And these dramatic votes and these changes, for Exxon it went from 39% in 2016 to 62% in 2017. This was done in large part to the shift in voting patterns by BlackRock, Fidelity, Vanguard, State Street, which together owned about, I think, about 15% of Exxon shares. Never say that a vote doesn't count. It makes a huge difference. And it's a key factor in making a company like Exxon say our owners want us to pay attention to this issue and change our policies and practices. I also want to give credit to BlackRock and Vanguard and State Street for their active, for example, for their active engagement with companies. They do exactly like Lisa in our firm does in reaching out to companies and to bringing up the climate issues, drilling down and trying to push companies to be more responsive. So this proxy voting debut last year for these huge new votes sets a stage for this season, and we hope we're going to see expanded involvement by BlackRock and Vanguard and Fidelity, for example. In contrast, unfortunately, the committee at Bank of New York Mellon seems stuck in the past and recommends votes against every single social and environmental issue, arguing somehow that it has no effect on the bottom line. So here's where you come in, and my final point. I serve on the board of pensions for the United Methodist Church. It's called WestPath. It manages about $24 billion. And every year, they reach out to their managers and ask them to report on what they're doing, those managers are doing on climate change, and how they vote their proxies. So they're holding their managers accountable, arguing these managers work for us, we pay the bill, so to speak, and we want to know not only are they professional investment managers, but how do they vote and how do they represent us on climate change. They buy the services, and they feel they have the right to hold their managers accountable.
All right, Tim, we're going to need to wrap it up there.
Okay.
I apologize.
I'm going to simply then say, this is simply done, and we're going to urge everyone in this room to consider to engage their managers, and we're glad to help work with others to provide a little resource packet for IEN so that they can assist you all in doing this if you wish. Thank you.